Okay. So what do you think is this job do? What is the importance of a teacher or a teaching assistant?
And uh, they do some um, uh, they do some work to help students to study knowledge and uh, and cultivate their physical and mental health. Mm, uh, Helping students to build a healthy personality.
Yes, very good. Thank you for your answer. So that is an example of another job in here. So we are going to identify the persons. So what does the person do in their job and what is their importance? So let's begin in here. Could you please read?
Stimulate, stim, stimin, stim,
Stimulate.
or stimulate,
Very
stimulate
good.
students' interest, help maintain students' mental health, help solve students' learning problems, pass general and professional knowledge on to students, give suggestions on career plans, study methods, and interpersonal relationships.
Okay, thank you. So we have here the person's duty on their job. So let's begin with the first one. So in here it states here that it's stimulate students' interest. So when we say the word stimulate, this one could means that it is about arousing or increasing students' curiosity, excitement, or motivation to learn. So those are for the word stimulate students' interest, and then it is often used in teaching or educational context. And then the next one in here, we have here help maintain students' mental health. So when we say the word help students' mental health, of course, we know that it talks about the person's emotional, psychological, and social well being, and it affects the people about their thinking and so on. So we have here, I will put in the chat box the explanation for the word mental health. And let's have an example for this word. Okay. So in here, I have here three examples of the first one. Good mental health is essential for the students to focus and learn. And then the other one is that the school started a program to support students' mental health. And the last one, he took a break. So he took a break from work to take care of his mental health. So of course, we doesn't know when or the student is happy or not, if they are holding problems, and most especially in today's, most students have a problem which makes them trigger their anxiety, depression, and so on. And then we also have here help solve students learning problems. Okay, so when we say that one, of course, students is diverse when it comes to teaching. So there are methods of teaching. Some of the students like a learning materials that has visual, PowerPoints, presentation, or some students is not excelling on memorizing, and some students doesn't want to accompany other classmates, they just want to learn on their own. So those are some example for the students learning problems. And then we also have here pass general and professional knowledge on students. Of course, we teachers are the one who pass our knowledge and our skills to students so that they will learn on us. And then we also have here give suggestion on career plans. What do you think is this word means? What do you think?
Uh, it means uh, you put a schedule uh, in order to you make a schedule in order to achieve your career goal.
Okay, thank you. So that is for about career plans. Now, when we say the word career plans, it talks about a person's planned path for their professional life and future jobs. So let's have here some example for this word career plans. Okay, so here we have three examples. She discussed her career plans with the guidance counselor. So that is for the example number one. And then for the for the second example, we have here, she discussed my career plan includes becoming a licensed physical therapist. So that is the second example. And the last example is that he is still unsure about his career plans after graduation. So that is for the three examples on the career plans. So we also have here study methods. Of course, teachers suggest study methods such as for me, I recommend my student to learn especially early in the morning because our brain function about 80 to 90% in the early morning around 3 to 5 a.m. So our brain is active on that. So me as a student before, I am an active student as well before in my college era. So I usually study around 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 3 to 4 a.m. Then I will have a nap and then I'm going to wake up again after I study. Or I usually do about scanning my notebook after my classes. Because after classes, when I scan it, it will always remain on my mind so that when the assessment will come, all those knowledge will be remain on my memory. So it is easy for you students to learn on it. And then you can able to have a high grades with that. And another one we also have here, interpersonal relationship. What do you think is this word means? Any idea?
Uh, it means uh, uh, how to build a good relationship with teachers or classmates.
Okay, thank you. Very good. So
And
those are and
and how to communicate or how to communicate or interact with each other.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your answer. So, yes, interpersonal relationship talks about the relationship and interaction between two or more people. So, it is often involving about communication and social connection. So, I have here three examples. So, I put it in the chat box. So, example number one. The strong interpersonal relationship help create a positive work environment. And then second example, teachers should build good interpersonal relationship with their students. And the last one in here, conflict can arise in interpersonal relationship if there is lack of trust. So those are the following example for the word interpersonal relationships. Now let's proceed on this part. Could you please read? Job important.
They play an important role in learning process of students. They help students to develop a healthy personality, their styles and behavior have a great impact on students. Students trust them and are willing to share their feelings with them. They help students to develop the ability to achieve their dreams.
Okay, thank you. So in here we have here five importance of the job of teacher. So for number one, they play an important role in the learning process of the students. Of course, we teachers are very important as we know that teaching is the noblest profession because education or the teachers produce different professions such as doctor, engineer, architect, and so on. So they are the major reason why there are many professions. So we have here the term learning process. What do you think is the word learning process?
Mm, uh, it means how students study. Uh, for example, uh, 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 they study on the day or on the night, uh, and if they study effectively, uh, and the students and the teachers give students the advice based on their own experiences.
Okay, thank you for your idea for that. Very good. So in here, when we say the word learning process, it is the steps and experiences involved in gaining knowledge, understanding, and skill. So those are for the word learning process. So we have here three examples. So for example, number one. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Of course, by doing decisions in our life, especially when we do some certain factors in our class, there is some instances that we might commit mistakes. So with that, we are going to learn from it. So that is why mistakes are part of learning. And then the second example in here, each student has their own way of going through the learning process. As we said a while ago, is that a student has their own way of learning process. Let me ask you, how or what ways you usually do? What methods of learning you usually do? Do you learn late at night, early in the morning? Do you take notes, memorize, or what? What learning methods or processes you usually do before or in your classes?
I think it depends on what kind of um, study I need to do. For example, if I do some study to it needs which needs a lot of a lot of memorize of such as study the English words. I usually put it on the morning because I think um, in morning we already have a clear mind. If I
Yeah.
do some
Yeah.
mm, mm, do some do some homework, I really do it at night.
So
Yeah.
those are your learning methods. Very good. So in here we also have here the third example. So technology has changed the learning process in schools. Of course, with the use of different visual aids such as those technology like television, projection, and other more, they make the learning process easier and more engaging. And then the next one we have here, they help students to develop personality or healthy personality. Of course, by giving advices, guidance, the student develop a healthy personality. So they were going to change their personality, for example, when they don't listen or obey class rules, but they needed to obey it for them to be guided and to be disciplined as a student. So next one we have here, their thoughts and behavior have a great impact on students. So when we say this word, what do you think it means? Any idea? Do you have?